This is ANN News Brief.
Good morning, I'm Lucy Adeyemi. French forces say a military leader of Qaedas North Africa wing, Ba'ag Moussa, has been killed during an operation in northeastern Mali. Armed Forces Minister Florence Parly said on Friday this is a major success in the fight against terrorism. Moussa, who was on the U.S. terrorism list, was killed on Tuesday after an operation involving ground troops and helicopters, and comes after a series of operations that have seen French forces kill dozens of Islamist fighters in recent weeks. Ba'ag Moussa, also known as Bamoussa Diarra, was a former army in Mali and a right-hand man of Iyad Ag-Ghali, the leader of Mali's most prominent jihadist group, which has repeatedly attacked soldiers and civilians in Mali and neighboring Burkina Faso. Ba'ag Moussa is considered responsible for several attacks against Mali and international forces. France has more than 5,100 soldiers spread across the Sahel region, with a large portion in Mali operating against rising insurgency. In Burkina Faso, 14 soldiers have been reported killed in ambush after suspected militants attacked them in the northern part of the country. The attack happened in Ondala province near the borders with Mali and Niger. The Ministry of Communication said on Thursday security forces had been deployed to the area to track down the perpetrators of the attack carried out on Wednesday. President Roch Kabore, who has promised peace if re-elected and urged the opposition not to use terrorism as a campaign tool, suspended his election campaigns for 48 hours in honor of the soldiers who died. Burkina Faso is set to hold presidential elections on November 22nd. We'll be right back.
Whether in your house, at your office, on your phone or online, we are there. We have the facts behind the headlines. We cut to the chase with the news you really need. We cover every angle. We are the bigger, better news network. We are African News Network. ANN. Watch ANN News on MITV from a truly African spirit.
Amnesty International says civilians were massacred in the ongoing crisis in Ethiopia's Tigray region. The rights group says scores and probably hundreds of civilians have been killed. Witnesses blamed forces loyal to the Tigray People's Liberation Front (TPLF) for Monday's killings, but Tigrayan officials have denied that pro-TPLF troops were involved. Fighting between government forces and the TPLF broke out last week. The internet has been shut down with phone lines. Journalists report getting information has been hard. The long-standing tension between Ethiopia's government and the Tigray People's Liberation Front, which controls the region, the country's northernmost state, has boiled over into military clashes, including airstrikes by federal forces, forcing thousands of civilians to flee the border into Sudan. Sudan says it will shelter them in a refugee camp. Ethiopia's prime minister has accused forces in the Tigray region of carrying out the massacre on civilians. That is ANN News Brief at 11. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, annafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. I'm Lucy Adeyemi.